I'm Claire Ridgway, founder of the Tudor Society and also the Anne Boleyn Files website, and author of several history books, including this one, On This Day in Tudor History. Now, you might be wondering why I am sat here in my Christmas jumper, my lovely Christmas jumper, when it's the 6th of January, and why I've still got Christmas cards and lights up, because some of you I know will have taken down your Christmas tree and all your decorations and cards and that. Well, that's because I've actually been celebrating the full 12 days of Christmas. And in fact, here in Spain, today is actually the big day of Christmas, because today is the 6th of January, the Feast of the Epiphany, when, of course, we remember the wise men, or the three kings, visiting the infant Christ child and bringing the gifts of gold, frankincense and myrrh. Here in Spain, children will have woken up this morning to hopefully to have received presents overnight, because the three kings and their camels visit each house here in Spain and bring presents, exactly like some of us celebrate on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with Father Christmas coming. Children here put out their slippers on the night of the 5th. To hope that their slippers get filled with goodies and perhaps a bit more, bigger presents as well. And if the children aren't very good, if they're naughty children, then they get coal. Well, actually candied coal, really. So today I am celebrating the Feast of Epiphany with my Christmas jumper. So there you go. But today is also a special day for Henry VIII and Anne of Cleves, because today is the anniversary of their wedding on the 6th of January, the Feast of Epiphany, 1540. They got married in the Queen's Closet at Greenwich Palace. Now, chronicler Edward Hall, and I must say that he's one of my favourite Tudor primary sources, his chronicles, that it's just so detailed, so brilliant and so very accurate as well. He describes Anne of Cleves on her wedding day. He says, "Then the lords went to fetch the Lady Anne, which was apparelled in a gown of rich cloth of gold, set full of large flowers of great and orient pearl, made after the Dutch fashion round. Her hair hanging down, which was fair, yellow, and long. On her head a coronal of gold, replenished with great stone, and set about full of branches of rosemary. About her neck and middle, jewels of great value and estimation." I'm not sure whether that means estimation. Hall also describes King Henry VIII, saying that the king wore a gown of cloth of gold, raised with great flowers of silver, furred with black jennets, his coat crimson satin, all to cut and embroidered, and tied with great diamonds, and a rich collar about his neck. Hall records that when Anne greeted the king, she curtsied to him 3 times, and then the couple were married by Thomas Cranmer, the Archbishop of Canterbury. Anne's wedding ring was engraved with the words, "God send me well to keep." Now, after the ceremony, the bride, the groom and the guests enjoyed the usual snacks, refreshments of wine and spices. And we know that this was followed by banquets, masques and diverse disports, till the time came that it pleased the king and her to take their rest. Now, to take their rest means that that was the time for the royal couple to retire to their chambers and to consummate the marriage, something which made the marriage valid, legal and binding. Because marriages in those days, you needed to exchange promises and then consummate the union. That was all that was needed. You didn't need witnesses, you didn't need a wedding ceremony, really. It was just the exchange of promises followed by consummation. Now, unfortunately, the consummation, or the non-consummation really, it was a disaster. The wedding night was a bit of a disaster. The next morning, Thomas Cromwell asked a rather bad-tempered Henry VIII what he thought of his queen. Now, this was an important question from Thomas Cromwell, because Thomas Cromwell was the one responsible for negotiating this match. Unfortunately, Henry replied, "Surely, as ye know, I liked her before not well, but now I like her much worse. For I have felt her belly and her breast, and thereby, as I can judge, she should be no maid. The which struck me so to the heart when I felt them, that I had neither will nor courage to proceed any further in other matters. I have left her as good a maid as I found her." So, Henry VIII is saying that, her appearance was off-putting. He didn't believe her to be a virgin because of her breasts and belly, and that he left her as good a maid as he found her. So he didn't do the deed. Oh dear, not good news for Cromwell. Now, Henry went on to discuss the matter of the non-consummation, his inability to do the deed, with his physicians. He told them that he found her body in such sort disordered and indisposed to excite and provoke any lust in him. So here he was talking to his doctors and blaming his inability to do the deed and consummate their union and make the marriage legal and binding. He was blaming that entirely on Anne of Cleves and her appearance, saying that, it just didn't turn him on. He wasn't attracted to her. And he went on to say he thought himself able to do the act with other, but not with her. So he just blames her entirely. Now, the marriage was annulled in July 1540, so just 6 months later, and Henry went on in the same month to marry Catherine Howard, who was a maid of honour to Anne. So a real insult to Anne to have to go through all this and to hear that he's blaming her entirely, and then for him to go off with one of her maids of honour. So a very poignant day, really, the anniversary of their wedding, because their marriage did not last long. So I hope you've enjoyed today, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing my Christmas jumper for the last time. Happy Feast of Epiphany if you celebrate it. Please do subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can be notified when new videos go on. But I'll be back tomorrow with another On This Day in Tudor History event. So subscribe below. Take care. Bye bye.